In this chapter, I'm going to explain how to communicate with different objects and with yourself or with others using ActionScript. So the first thing that you need to understand about communication is how to set up communication to a movie clip. So let's open up the welcome screen in Flash CS3 and select Flash File ActionScript 3.0 under the Create New section. And that'll create a new Flash document for you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a simple object on the stage and set everything up so we can communicate to this object with ActionScript. And what do I mean by communicate? Let me show you in just a second after we convert this object into a movie clip. So I'm going to go over to the rectangle tool and I'm going to select a fill color, whatever you want. I'm going to go for a green, and you can select a stroke color if you want or no stroke color, it doesn't matter. Go onto the stage with your mouse and click and drag to draw out a rectangle of any size and any width, any height. Now what I'm going to do is convert this object into a movie clip. So I'm going to go over here to my selection tool in the top left of my screen or press V on my keyboard. And I'm going to draw a selection area around this whole object. You can tell that it's selected by the white dots that are all over it. And then I'm going to press F8 on my keyboard or go to Modify, Convert to Symbol to convert this rectangle into a symbol. I'm going to call it MC and then rectangle with a capital R. Now, if you've used Flash for a while, you might already know the naming conventions or what's legal and what's not legal to put as a symbol name. Now, MC rectangle is totally legal. Usually you want to start with a lowercase letter. Sometimes you want to start with the uppercase letter. And what you want to do is not give any spaces or any special characters. And by special characters, I mean exclamation point, question mark, etc. So this instance name is okay. Verify that movie clip is selected in the type area. And let's keep registration at the top left and then click OK. So now you have a movie clip on the stage. Now let's just deselect that by clicking in this gray area to the left of the stage. And there should no longer be a blue rectangle around your square or your rectangle. And then click it again, click your rectangle again, and then look in the Properties Inspector. That's at the bottom of the screen. So it should say movie clip and it should have these open brackets and say instance name. It's kind of gray in that area. If you click in that area, you can give it an instance name. So I am going to give this an instance name of rectangle _ MC. Now there is a special naming convention I'm using here. I'm giving it a name starting with a lowercase letter. Again, for an instance name, you want to follow basically the same naming convention of giving it no spaces, no special characters. Giving it the suffix of _MC will help me out in the future, and I'll show you that in the next video, what the difference it makes. Now what I'm going to do is click on this movie clip on the stage, and I'm going to go to my Free Transform tool, or press Q on my keyboard, and then you should see all these rectangles all around it, these little boxes. So if I go over the bottom right of my rectangle and I click and I drag, I can rotate this thing around. When I release the mouse, it's rotated. And then I can click any of these other handles and resize or rotate or whatever I want. I can grab different instances out of the library. So now I have 3 rectangles on the stage. I'm going to modify this one a little bit as well. This bottom right one, I'm going to go to the color in the Properties Inspector, select the drop down, select Tint. I'm going to choose a random color. My random color is going to be blue, and I'm going to give this a blue tint. So we have 3 different instances on the stage. Now this is the most important thing that you need to understand about communication for right now. In the library, this is called MC rectangle. If I wanted to communicate to these objects with the ActionScript or modify the rotation or the transparency or the color or anything, I need to give them an instance name. Because as far as the library is concerned, this is MC rectangle, this is MC rectangle, and this is MC rectangle. The instance name is what differentiates the objects from one another. So now that we have an instance name on this rectangle _MC, we're ready to communicate to it or to modify its properties using ActionScript. So let's do that in the next movie.